What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XRP today. It is the 26th day of January, and here we are at about $1.91 with roughly 6 days and 7 hours left in this week. Hit that like button, subscribe, and thank you all for being here. I did not mean to draw a white line there. Drawing white lines out of nowhere. $1.91 is the price. Like I said, we have about 7 hours left in this day. It says 7 hours. I'm sorry. It's probably closer to about 6 hours. Yeah, 6 hours left in this day. Very nice reversal off of Sunday's move down. Let me look at the Coinbase chart real quick. Let's see. I mean, we're moving down and volume's decreasing, but I don't know if I'm convinced that this is the low. That's kind of upsetting. The thing is, I don't consider this to be true price action. I don't consider the 10th of October to be true price action. I think that if the exchanges were open, if people were actually allowed to trade, the price would have never gotten here. If so facto, that's probably not real price action, because when the exchanges closed, we went down here. When the exchanges opened, we were up here instantly. Okay, so it just doesn't make sense to me to include that as a low. If we did, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4 lows, and technically there's no such thing as a quadruple bottom. You would likely break through this. But because I don't believe this is a quadruple bottom, I do believe this is a 1, 2, 3. That's probably the proper way of looking at it. I really do think that we can find support here and move up higher. And technically, we do have higher lows here, technically. So I have no problem with that. With that all being said, the only reason I'm talking about breaking down is that typically when you see volume come down to these low levels, you could be at a breaking point. And if you were looking at this as a descending triangle, it's very compelling to assume that we might break out. I'm going against the grain on that. I don't believe we're going to go down there, and the simple reason for that is I don't think that XRP, man, I don't think it's going to break out of this range to the downside. If you do, you're going all the way back down to 63 cents. You're at $1.90 now. United States Strategic Crypto Reserve, the bank, or Japan is passing you as a financial asset, a regulated financial asset, whatever. There's all kinds of stuff going on with RL, USD, the Ripple layer to XRP, and XRP is like the main thing behind it too. So I guess Ripple Labs is the main thing behind it, but XRP is their token, right? $1.90, man. I can't imagine it dropping down, because again, a break below this range, if we were to break here to the downside, it would imply devastating price action. It's not that that can't happen, and it's not just because I can't imagine it happening that it can't happen. But genuinely, for what it's worth, in my 10 years of experience in the crypto markets, to me, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Not with the narrative, not with the stuff that's going on for XRP. People are bearish on XRP here. The XRP army, they're always bullish. It doesn't matter if it's here. It doesn't matter if it's here. They're more annoying up here, but they're just as bullish up here. They're just as diehard believers here. The XRP army has a very loyal cult-like following, right? They talk about meme coins, looking for a meme coin that has a cult-like following. You found one in XRP. XRP could be a meme, and it would still probably hold this valuation just for the cult-like following in itself. But that's not the point. There's a lot more going for it. And right now, the crypto market as a whole, I feel like, is typically more bearish on XRP here. And anytime that's happened in XRP's history, which this doesn't do a good job of showing, but anytime that happens, we do fantastic things, right? So when people get bored and forget about XRP, like at the low ends of an area that it's been holding a horizontal range, which this is, by the way, a very bullish phase of consolidation after a move like this. It's a very you're holding right above your last cycle's highs. This is anything but bad structure, okay? It just makes sense to me in this high fear environment. We're probably not thinking rationally, and I think we will break out to the upside. But looking at this on the short term stuff, looking at this on the 1 hour, we're moving up a little bit here. The RSI, actually the stochastics look good to bounce here. The RSI looks bullish and the MACD looks bullish. This 1 hour chart actually looks more bullish than a lot of the cryptos I've talked about so far today. 4 hour time frame, that's great. That's awesome. 4 hour time frame, a little bit of hidden bearish divergence. That might explain why we're getting tied up, rejecting the overbought zone here a little bit. Your 1 hour would suggest that you can come down a little bit over the next hour, maybe 2 or 3. But you probably bounce here. 4 hour time frame, in the next 2 hours, we're going to close this here. So maybe we do continue to grow going into the end of the day here. I wouldn't be surprised. The MACD will cross probably sometime later this month. It's the 26th now, so we don't have much time left. Soon enough, whenever that MACD crosses above the zero, we're going to get a nice move. I mean, the last time that this happened, we had this move here from $1.81 to $2.40. And we're at higher prices now. So I would assume we get higher highs as well. We look at the daily time frame. I don't mind the 4 hour time frame. Daily time frame, we're reset. We're back at the lows on the RSI that every single time we've been at has been relative lows. Even if this was a relative low that got a lower low and a lower low, it was still a relative low every single time that we bounce right off this area in the RSI. Very typical. So it makes sense that we're finding support here. Bullish divergence on the stochastics, bullish divergence technically on the MACD as well. And you've retested your zero with your oscillators. You're actually at a point to bounce. Stochastics are coming out of the oversold zone, bouncing right here. There's no reason for me to believe here that you would go lower, other than if I was assuming that this was like a 1, 2, 3, 4 bottom. But it's not. I don't think it is. I never thought it was. And I'm certainly not thinking it is now. I think that we're going to move up higher. We're probably going to see prices above this high. Again, right, the last time that we saw readings like what we're seeing now, we were at lower prices. We went to a higher level. Here, we're getting kind of like a double, triple bottom here, whatever. I would assume we go higher, and we probably find resistance somewhere around these areas of prior support and resistance here at about 270. We're at $1.90. We're probably going to pump a whole 80 cents from here and then chill before going on an absolute rampage. Because then the momentum shifts, right? Then the perspective shifts entirely of XRP. We're back up here. We're consolidating now doing this. Things are a little bit different. Things are a little bit different here. People might still not be convinced that we're ready to move up yet, but things are different here. And then we move up, and at that point, it's all but inevitable that we break out of this range. We break out of this range that we've been consolidating in for over a year and a half. It's going to be glorious. It's going to be glorious. Hit that like button and subscribe. I appreciate you all. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.